everyone. Welcome to another awesome broadcast day at fmtrain.tv. I am Richard Carlton here at fmtrain.tv, where every day we're doing great FileMaker training, and a bunch of you have been watching the return of Nick this week. The return of Nick's been very exciting. Nick will return on Tuesday. As a reminder, if you go to fmtrain.tv, we're actively continuing to upgrade the training curriculum of what we have for everyone here. He pressed this button here. It's been fixed by Haley. Notice it doesn't say, hey, there's this training coming up. Now it drives right into this kind of free course. We are down to day 29. I think we shot like 34 days. We always said 30 days of training. It went more than 30 days. This is all the material that we've been developing. These is for beginners and people who maybe stepped away from FileMaker. Maybe you're an intermediate developer. You're stepping back. You've kind of forgotten all the moving pieces of it. I was reviewing some of it today, watching some of it. We're creating a super enhanced version of this. Anyway, long story, but we're continuing to invest heavily in our training, which is what, frankly, you care about. So if I go back to that, it goes to fmtrain.tv. Yeah, so very, very exciting. As a reminder, if you want to support the channel, right, a couple things you could do. Purchase the complete training bundle here, which would be really great. It gets you access to all the training in the order and schedule you want to have it. We'll be upgrading this so it's delivered via web page instead of in the FileMaker app. So let's pivot real quick to today's topic. So this is what we sell here. So if you have a peanut butter and jelly FileMaker sandwich, right? You take MonkeyBread, you take it out, take out your fork, and you slather it on your database, right? You're on your FileMaker FMP12 file. This is pretty good stuff. It tastes tasty, it's healthy for your database, and it doesn't give you cancer, which is really great. So we're very happy about that. This is MonkeyBread. It's made by, he grinds up poor little monkeys and chips them into a chipper and then puts it in a jar. That's Christian Schmitz, right? So Christian Schmitz is with us today. Very excited to have him here. In all seriousness, if you go to MonkeyBread software, you go right here, MonkeyBread software, and you pops up this page right here, .de. This is his page right here. So you have the latest versions here, all sorts of, you can search in here for what you want to do. I use MonkeyBread software. That's why we promote it. I do personally use it. It solved problems that I couldn't solve any other way with FileMaker. I was very excited about that. And I have a license for, I think, most of my engineers here, a chunk of them anyway. So that is it. So this is MonkeyBread. So Christian Schmitz, are you there? Are you there? You're there. Okay, great. So I'm going to quit sharing my screen. All right. So today's conversation is about what's new in MonkeyBread. Why do we care about MonkeyBread? So you want to walk us through that?
So as you know, I make a new release every 2 months. And so our July release is usually for DEF CON, which would have been last week.
I'm sorry. There is no DevCon this year.
Yeah.
Claris is not doing a DevCon. If you would like to attend something that looks like a DevCon, please visit Pause on Air. Search it. Go to Google and search for Pause, P-A-W-S, on A-I-R. That's the wrong one. Sorry, it's Pause, not Paws of your puppy. Okay, so yes, you got to go here. That's the only, in the United States, the only in-person event. Well, what's going on with you? So we got no DevCon, but we have the new MonkeyBread plugin. So why, I mean, obviously you want to have a license for this, you can get a new feature, but tell us about the new, what is it?
So in this release, we have a couple of things. Let's start here. There is MongoDB. So people may have heard about something called Claris Studio, which is using MongoDB internally. But also over the last years, a couple of clients asked me to connect to a MongoDB when they use other solutions, like they may have CMS on their website.
Okay.
And instead of using MySQL or Microsoft SQL or Postgres, it uses MongoDB. And so people ask me how they can connect to this from FileMaker so they can synchronize data, make queries, push data.
So coming up in about 10 days, week and a half, Chris Moyle will be here talking about MongoDB, about what it is, what it's not, kind of the benefits and negatives of it. And then when you get to a point where you want to have FileMaker talk to MongoDB, then this plugin is awesome for helping you do that.
Yeah. And we will also make another session just about MongoDB on the end of the month, I think 29th of July.
Yes,
Okay.
it'll be like the Monday will be the Moya introduction, and then Friday will be Christian Schmitz coming on to explain how you can actually implement it.
Oh,
So,
okay, cool.
So today, just a little introduction here. We got this nice sample database, and I have installed a local MongoDB server on my Mac. So I can use it for testing here. The MongoDB server, I can connect to it. I can ask it, what databases do you have? Then I can pick a database and ask what collections you have. And a collection is like
So officially,
a table.
A collection's a table? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a table. So I can ask what collections do you have? So there's my test collection. And then I can, for example, make an insert and insert a record. And a record is always a JSON document. So I have here one, for example, which is a key and a value and another key and a numeric value. And let's take a look on the script to give you a little idea how this works. So the plugin has sessions for MongoDB. So you can create a new MongoDB object. You can have several connections at the same time to different servers or to the same server. So you can move data from one server and push it to another, whatever you like. Your MongoDB server is specified with an URL. And in this case, I just use my feature here to click on the function and jump to the documentation. And here you see a few example URLs. So whatever MongoDB server setup you have, like if you have several servers spread over Earth and you like to connect to them, you can just tell it connect to localhost or connect here to a list of IPs on different computers. Pick the one which is least busiest. And you can set a few options, like you can pass a username or password and authentication mechanism or encryption. And once you set the URL, you can ask the plugin to connect to the database. If that works, you have a standing connection to the MongoDB server, and you can use it to run queries, insert data, update data, whatever you like.
Okay.
And the example to query the names is just after connecting, we use our MongoDB connection to ask for the database name. So we get back a list of all the databases. And you could show maybe a little pop-up menu, whatever, to pick which database to use. And similarly, for the collections, we have a function to query the collection names. But of course, we have to open the database first. So we connect, we pick the database, and then we ask for the collection names. So now you may want to make an insert. For your insert, you need to know first which database, which collection. Then you insert one document by passing in the JSON to the plugin. The plugin will then parse your JSON, convert it internally to BSON, so binary JSON version, and it will be sent to the server. The server will store it, give you the result, how many records are stored, and any error message if there happens to be one. If you like
for a lot of the people here, Mongo's this conversation, we're going to dive into more of this in the future, but this is kind of the short version of it, I guess, right?
Well, this is just a plugin interface for it. So you have somewhere a MongoDB server. This could be another software you're using, or it could be maybe a local on-premise Claris Studio installation someday, where you want to have direct access beside the ESS Plus, if you want. Or you may just have a FileMaker database to manage something, and then whenever you commit a record, want to replicate this record in your MongoDB and use it on your web app, whatever.
Okay, cool.
So you can update a record by passing in a JSON for or to identify the record. So you pass in the fields you like to search the record by and the values, and then you can provide a special JSON to tell which fields to set, and then it will set. I think for the MongoDB session on the end of the month, we may make a new example from scratch where we do something like manage a to-do list, store it
Okay.
in MongoDB.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's I know almost absolutely nothing about Mongo. For me, it's I mean, other than me understanding it's a database with a table and a record and whatever. I mean, beyond that, I don't fully appreciate what Mongo is. So, but
Yeah.
maybe
You
well.
can. The great thing about MongoDB is that you don't need to have a fixed schema, and that can really free your mind, because you can just add a field by just pushing in a new record which has another field in it. So the list of fields is defined by what you put in the database. So you can have maybe records for people in a collection, and then records for the company. The people records have maybe a first name and a last name, and the company record don't have that. But both have some common fields like an ID and a name.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Another thing is here we can make a query. So we can make a find operation, and then you can specify some search criteria. Like in this case, we just pass a field name, and then we have the special notation for JSON in the MongoDB world, where we say here this should be greater than, and then we pass another value. And you can also pass options for the query, like limit or sort order. And then you loop over the documents. So we have a loop in FileMaker which asks for the next one. And as long as you get one, we can show it. So I can just run this and, yeah. There is none for this. So we find a record. So all MongoDB records have always an ID field. And that one is currently, I think, not showing up in Claris Studio.
Yes, it's not. It doesn't.
Yeah, but it's there. There is a 128-bit record ID, like a new UID, but less bits. And it should still be unique for everything you do. And then you have the other JSON fields in the table. So next thing we got is here, Dynapdf got a few new tricks, including new PDF standards, PDF X, 5, and 6. Usually you don't need to know about this, but if your client tells you all the PDFs you output in FileMaker need to be in a certain format, you can load them in Dynapdf, set whatever is needed, and then output the ones in the format required. Like we have quite a few customers making PDF-A files with the plugin. Also, we have people making form fields on PDF pages.
Yeah.
And we now can specify for a form field that it should have a certain date and time format. And this way, let me find the function. What's new here and set time. So you can have different formats, like you can say it must be months, day, or months, day, year, or whatever, and then the PDF viewer will format your input. If you have to make forms with PDF, this can be useful. And some people like to get an idea what they can do. For example, you can have a record for your customer data. You can make a PDF with the form values in it, can send it to the client can answer it, send it back to you, and then you can update your record with the values from the PDF.
So Dynapdf is this little set of libraries that you can, it's kind of like if you have the MonkeyBread plugin, if you want to take the MonkeyBread plugin and do some extreme PDF manipulation, you also have to buy the Dynapdf library. Between those two products, you have almost complete and utter total control within the FileMaker platform of managing and manipulating PDFs. More than just printing them. We're talking about creating forms in them. For those, some of you have not seen this before, you can actually open a PDF and actually type data into it, close it, save it, and send the PDF back to people. And so Dynapdf gives you the hooks to do all this stuff. And so there's a video here we talk about in great length. Check out the link that Margaret posted. That is really good.
So what else do we have? We have templates with changed bounding box. Now, to just explain what a template is, let me just take this example. Yeah, it works. So we have a PDF page. We can load it as a template into memory and then place it on another page. So take this example. We have a page saying hello world and a green dot. And now we can place the template full on the page, but we can also just put it on a certain area on the page. And you can even apply some transformations to it. So you can, for example, rotate a page. Or what a lot of people do is like this construction where you have 2, 4, 8, 16 pages on a page. That's something you can do with Dynapdf.
Complete manipulation with the PDF,
Yeah.
which is kind of great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So let's take a look on the next thing. You may have heard that FileMaker 19.5 has a little feature called live text.
Okay, I got to officially register my complaint. That feature sucks. Okay.
So
that feature sucks. My opinion is that it only works on certain platforms and only works on certain kinds of documents. And anytime you say there's a new feature, if you say there's a feature and then you have like 28 items of where it doesn't work on this, doesn't work on this, doesn't work on this, doesn't work on this. So I'm hoping that you have something better, Christian. And I don't know what he has. So
I heard your complaints.
Yes.
And then
hear my complaints.
I added PDF support. That's something. Well, you talked about it in a live stream. And
yes, because it's obvious. It's like, hey, so here's the deal. So here's this feature in FileMaker. So the engineers at FileMaker want to put a feature in. They don't want to spend a lot of time working on it. So they call a library on the Mac and on the iPhone. Yeah. And the library is similar. But they don't have Windows parity. Strike one. Strike two is that you want to scan something off a document. The problem with scanning stuff off of documents is that magically, a lot of documents people have are PDFs. And so this thing doesn't support that. So it doesn't work on Windows, doesn't support some of the most important documents you have. And then Claris runs this up the flagpoles like, this is the most amazing thing ever. It's like, no, it's not. I will tell you when it's amazing, it's not amazing. So you fixed their lack of amazingness. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's just a little thing. So usually you put in a picture, you get back the text. And now you can also just throw in a PDF file and we can run the recognized text and we get the text back from the PDF page. And this is optical recognition. This is not the usual text extraction, which we also have.
Okay, okay, so stop. Let me fill this in for everyone real quick. So if you have a PDF, see the document, it's a PDF. It would be a PDF that came from PDF. When you have text on the screen of a PDF, this is for Dialog or anyone maybe doesn't understand who this is, your PDF could be a scan of a document where it's an image, so the text is in an image. The text could also, the PDF could have been generated from like a Word file or a FileMaker file, in which case the construction, the under the hood construction of the PDF is a little different. It actually will have text objects on there and maybe an image for something that's part of a graphic or something. But if you actually create a PDF from Word or Excel or FileMaker or some sort of app, not a scanner, then you might have actual text objects in there. So how you scan, this is for us developer type people. We need to understand this. So the objects on the screen might be images or they might be text. Your end users don't give a shit. They don't care. It's a PDF. They just want it to work. So Christian's saying that it scans either text or images. It does both.
Yeah.
That's me clapping for, this is a complete feature. A complete feature.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's also say we have functions like PDF get PDF text to grab the text in the PDF without looking for text on pictures. And we also have that for Windows with Dynapdf, because Dynapdf can extract text from a PDF document. And then if you need more image text recognition, we also have the OCR functions in the plugin. And those have been updated recently, so we can now use Tesseract Engine 5.1, so you get the latest on the OCR features from the library.
So Tesseract, for those of you who wonder about that, is it kind of this open source optical character recognition library that's available? So yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, it was a commercial one and later got put on open source. So we have in the plugin a big toolbox. You have functions to use like this live text. You have the Dynapdf function. You have PDFKit functions. You have OCR functions, and you can choose whatever you want to do. So we got that, and then we got new functions to detect the upcoming operation system.
Oh, okay. So first, when I saw that Ventura, I just thought of Ace Ventura Pet Detective. I'm like, yeah, what? So the Ventura is the name of the new operating system, right?
Yeah. So we have a couple of functions to tell you if a certain operation system version is there. And you could, for example, go to your solution and just put in the start script a check, say if it's Ventura, then put a warning sign on the screen and say, we haven't yet tested our solution on macOS Ventura. Please use at your own risk, because you never know what's breaking. And if you upgrade your computer on day one of when the new operation system is available, maybe something breaks, maybe not, you don't know. So you can query the operation system version with the plugin. And then we added another feature for more advanced users, which is about error logging. So we have a function to tell the plugin to clear the error log, and later you can query the error log. And the idea here is that we want to know about all the things that could go wrong in the script with calling MBS functions. So we can log these errors to a database, like FileMaker. This allows you to do some structured error handling, and I have an example on the blog for this. So let's say your script starts, we clear the error, we call a few MBS functions, which may return error, and then on the end, we can ask this error status. And now the more advanced feature is by using a loop. The loop runs only one time. And if there's anywhere an error here, we exit the loop early. So whenever something goes wrong, we jump from the line where it's going wrong right to the end here, where we query the error log, and then we can log the error so the developer can later take a look on this. And we can even include errors from FileMaker here, because I got a little check error custom function here to also log errors in FileMaker, like this perform script. Script step has a missing function name, so it will cause an error. And we have here a little custom function to log this error to our error log. So we add our own JSON entry. And this way we get an error log, not just about the plugin errors, but also about errors in FileMaker. And it makes handling errors more like a try catch in other other programming languages.
But yeah, there's some good stuff in here. The document scanning was a big one for me personally. The error message handling is a good one to know if you're doing any sort of heavy lifting with this plugin. That's good to have.
Yeah. So let's say you use Dynapdf to process a PDF. You may have hundreds of MBS calls there.
Yep.
Hundreds. And you don't want to check for an error after every call necessarily. So you can just have all 100 calls run through. And on the end, you ask two questions. The first thing is, was it successful? Did I get an output PDF? Or did I get any errors on the way there? And then I want to log the errors, because things at your customer's PC are usually different than on your development machine. So the script may work perfectly for you. And then when the customer tries it, they will get an error message about a missing font maybe, and you want to know that. So you will want to check if the script produced an error and then log it to your database so your developer can check it.
The question is the plugin required for basic operation of FileMaker? Your name is, your call sign is Gerald. You are Gerald, or I is Gerald. That's cool. So here's the deal. So I'm going to try to answer this first and foremost. I buy MonkeyBread plugin. I pay for it out of my own pocket. Okay. It's not that expensive. It's super, super, super useful. It does probably half or it's got like 7,000 things it does. It does half of those at least without anything else. There's nothing else to purchase with it. However, if you wanted to get into some hairy PDF manipulation, right, then instead of coding all that stuff by hand, Christian Schmitz leveraged another company's library called Dynapdf. That's another company, another product. And so what happens is you pay them, and then you get the Dynapdf library that combines the MonkeyBread, and you got this complete 100% control over PDF manipulation control. You could do some PDF stuff without it, but you'll run into these things that, that if you're trying to really super get crazy with PDFs, you're going to need some of that. So,
yeah.
So the answer is, I personally use MonkeyBread without the Dynapdf library license. If I get to a point where I really, really, really need to have PDF control, my customer really wants it, and the customer's going to have to write a check for $1,000 or whatever it is to get that software license so they can do all that, right? Because at the end of the day, $1,000 software license is not really that much for a company who's spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a solution. Right? If you're trying to do this for a nonprofit and they have no money, then yeah, there's only so far you're going to get, right? Kind of thing. So,
okay. So if you need a license, you can later come back to me.
Yeah, let's just cover that real quick. I want people to know. So if you want a license for this software, you're going to go to the MBS plugin website. You're going to press the button that says buy now.
Yeah.
Let me see, where's my annotation?
Yeah, I have it on the screen.
Oh, you have it. Okay, great.
Yeah. So, and we recently had a conference, so we got this little coupon code here.
Okay.
So you can even go to the shop and put in the coupon code.
Can you paste that into Discord or something for us real quick? Or we can have people try to spell conference with your...
Yeah, it was a German conference.
There we go. Okay, because the conference. Okay, cool.
So you can use it if someone needs a license today or in the next days, you can use that. And
okay.
if you need more, you can then also get Dynapdf, or for all the Excel stuff, add that too. And those are separate libraries, so they have an extra price.
Okay, so real quick for Gerald's on Twitch. And if you're on Twitch, feel free to let us know you're there, name or whatever, if your name and city or something, just first name and city sometimes. It's always good to know where people are at. Yes, I use this product. It's good. Gerald thinks it's exciting. I used it, the last time I used it, I was taking screenshots and then doing a little bit of I was creating video thumbnails in bulk with it. And I coded a bulk thumbnail creator. It would open a video, and then it would take some screenshots. I was doing screenshot control and container manipulation is what I was doing. I did a couple different things with it. I wired this all up. I don't, unfortunately, get to spend a lot of time coding anymore. I get to spend about 4 or 5 hours a week doing development. That's it. And here I am trying to do training. So I don't train on things I don't know, right? That's why we bring Nick in to help. So what do you got? Event management, what is this?
So next thing is a little audit example, because we got a new function for auditing, and I will show you the thing we have. So we have, this is a sample database for event management, where we have an event, and someone may go and may decide to change the name of the party. So welcome party 2.
Yep. Keep
and
going.
Now we save the record, and the change is recorded, and can change it again. And here on the bottom, we see a portal with our audit log table. So we can see the changes. So it's now the new task title is Richard's birthday, and the old value is welcome party 2. And so we can log all the changes made in a database. And this example writes to a second file. So we keep the log file separated because the log may get big. You may think about storing it separately. And here we have all the records for the log. The records you can have the plugin record are different. So you can choose whether you want to have the field name or the field ID or both, whether you want to have the username included or not. And the new thing we added is to fix a mess here with things like timestamps. So the problem is if you have users using one local, they may have here more the German style for timestamps, and you may have other users with something like US format of timestamps. Let's say 2 p.m. or something like this. Oops. So this would be a US formatted. So you may have fields where the value stored depends on the user. And so if FileMaker loads a record with a different local and then saves it again, you have a change made to a field without you actually changing something. And so we got a new setting here to tell you that we would like to record date and time as numbers, because then you have the same format independent of your local settings. So let me apply that. And now when I change here the birthday, I get it stored as a number. And this saves a few customers a big headache. So if you want to try the audit feature, yeah, please do so. You can configure it a little bit. Like we usually ignore calculations, repetitions, summary fields. You may want to ignore a couple of field names, maybe those with underscores, or you may use an UID. But if you need to log on your database which user makes which changes, you can do that with our plugin.
That right there is kind of a big topic. We've covered that entire days before. Audit trails become a big topic for people. Okay, cool. Well, that's interesting. It's quite a bit here. Do we have questions? People are starting to perk up now. Gerald in Grass Valley / Nevada City is around. That's good. If you have questions, now's the time. Although Ken Tooley said that, hey, by the way, the Christian's really great with his tech support.
Ken would like to know when MBS will do charting.
And my question is, should it even do charting? Would be my question. Should it do charting?
We thought about it, but since everyone is moving to do charting with JavaScript, I don't think we can compete with that. So
yeah,
the people who want basic charting will just use what's built into FileMaker. Mm-hmm. And the people who want something more advanced will put the work into JavaScript. So the market for plugin to do charting is very small.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
In my opinion.
I agree. Either people don't do charting, or they do the basic FileMaker charting, or they use something like Fusion Charts, which is very advanced. Yeah, so
the next thing we got is a function to calculate time-based one-time passwords. And that's for using a web service with a two-factor authentication, where the plugin then calculates the second factor based on some secret key and based on the time. So we can here calculate a key, and it's valid for a certain time, and you have to get all the parameters correct from your whatever service is using. But if they use 30 seconds steps and 6 digits or maybe 8 digits, you can do the calculation with the plugin and get your second factor and pass it to the web service and do a login without having a user pull up their iPhone and run an app. So next, we also have variable lookup and shared memory. And for that, I would like to show you the variable level. Yeah. So I made a blog post recently to explain a little bit to people about all the variables. So we actually have 5 levels now. You have a variable in a calculation in FileMaker defined within a let or while statement. That's a variable name without a prefix. You have the script variables with a $, the globals or file variables, which are with $2. And then the plugin can also manage variables, but the plugin-based variables are valid as long as FileMaker is running. And you can use them in all the files. And even on server, they can be very handy because one script can be run on the server to set a variable. Another script can later pick up the variable. And then we also have shared memory, which allows you to store something in the memory of your computer, and it stays there until the machine is restarted. And it allows you to, for example, store some information in memory when the user opens the database the first time on the day. And then if I quit FileMaker and open it again, you can still remember a value. And on the server, it allows you to move data between the different processes. So between plugin running under data API engine, running under the script engine, and running under WebDirect. They can all share memory. And the new lookup functions are a little bit handy. So you can ask for a variable name, ask for a variable, and then there's a lookup function. Okay, we'll fix it later so it appears on the right page. So you can define a variable with the plugin. Here, just call fm variable set, pass in a name and a value. And if you need to get it, you can query it anywhere in a calculation. And so use variables over different files.
So when you say global variable, it's like really globally global, right? It's like everyone.
So, yeah. So
actually, wow.
A variable within a script, a global within a file, then with a plugin for different files, and then with shared memory until the computer is shut down.
How do you deal with this with sandboxing? If they start sandboxing FileMaker in the future, like they ship it through the Apple App Store?
That will be interesting. We will have to see if the sandbox just blocks it or if we can get through.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, from a strategic standpoint, eventually FileMaker will be distributed potentially through the Apple App Store. They haven't done it yet because there's certain restrictions in there, and one of which is the super crazy security that goes on with it, right?
Yeah, I would expect that the App Store version will have a couple of features disabled, like no ODBC, for example.
And no Apple script on the Mac, etc. So yeah.
Well, Apple script can go through the App
Okay, well,
Store.
the engineers at Claris were thinking it wouldn't be in there, but yeah, we'll see.
Let's see. Probably when they submit to the App Store, they will get back a list of all the deprecated things they should get rid of first. So Apple has a list of private API you shouldn't use, but if you Google for something, how can I do this? And there is no public API, you may have some private API usage somewhere. And they don't allow that in the store.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure so the plugins can still work, but we'll see what happens. So, all right, we'll see, other questions we have. What else do you have in this release? Is there more in this release?
Yeah, of course. So let's open. Okay.
Of course.
So we have all the
12,000 new functions. 12,000.
No, not that much. So let's say we have a database and we have a couple of scripts here. So you see, I have all the script names and they are not sorted well and they are all over the place. So I can just click here and tell the plugin to sort the scripts. And you see them jumping around, but eventually they are sorted alphabetically. And we can also sort them in the other direction. And this goes by the plugin telling FileMaker that you as a user would quickly go and move all the scripts around. So it's a little bit user interface automation.
Yeah.
So you could do it manually, of course, but it would take ages. At least you would have to touch every script, but the plugin can do the sorting for you.
Oh, because if we numbered them all, then it would auto number and fix them. Oh.
Yeah, you could also use a prefix, so the plugin has something to use.
Does this work on Windows? Does this work on Windows?
No.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah,
Let's
those
wait
are
for
the
that.
additions for Mac OS here. That's the last.
Back up. I have a question. How much of your new stuff works on Mac only or Windows only, or is it, you know?
Let's take a look on the documentation. So these are new functions in 12.13. Not that many, but you see here works on all server and includes server. So let's go down. There are actually just two functions which are Mac only in this release.
Okay.
And this one, Mac, Windows, Linux, so no iOS here. So no shared memory on iOS. Next thing is you may have links in your scripts. Documentation here. So you may have a link to a function. Let's say here, Mongodb. You take this link, go back here. So, and you put it right in your script. So, and now the plugin sees this link here and makes you a little clickable link on the end of the line. So you can click it and you jump right to the URL. So no more need to copy and paste URLs. You can just click there. And a couple of people are very happy to put their links to some wiki pages into the scripts right away. You may also reference FMP URLs and just tell someone to look somewhere else to open the other file. So if you click that, FileMaker would try to open that file. And well, you can just cross-reference things in different files. And of course, we got a checkbox, so you can turn it on and or off, depending if you like it or not. And the preference dialog. And the functions here is to, where was it? What's new in 12.3 and here. So we have a function, so you can turn it on and off by script if you write some user interface to turn it off when the, yeah, when would you turn it off? I don't know. Right. So let's go to the layout dialog and just create a few layouts. Why is it taking so long?
Yeah.
So manage layouts.
Mm-hmm.
This is a complex database. It takes time to load. So let's just make a couple of here. Change your name or two.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would I want to change the name?
Yeah, they should all be named print label, right?
No, they should be sorted. And now what happens if I have a folder? Let's add a folder.
Wait. It didn't sort because the Z. Oh, no, that's correct. Wait. ATE. Okay. Oh, yeah. What happens with that?
So I have here some folder.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's say I'm lazy. I just copy a layout. Does it copy? I don't know. Oh, yeah. I copy one, I put it in the folder. So, and I accidentally name it the same on a different layout.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do go to layout by name, you may be in trouble if you have twice the same name.
It'll go to the first one probably, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
So we got a new command here, find duplicate names.
This is for all of you who actually don't listen to me about numbering your scripts and stuff like that, or numbering your layouts. So that's great.
So I've seen people with solutions with hundreds of layouts, and they can just run this command and see what gets selected and then change the names and get unique names everywhere. So
Mikey says, great features. Thanks, Christian. Labo44 says there's a way to combine. Okay, so Labo says, is there a way to combine two pages with Dynapdf, one in the background and one in front? Yeah, I guarantee it does that.
So, but what's the name of this example?
Yes.
Apply letter page. Here.
Apply letter.
Paper, yeah. This was example.
Okay, so everyone write that down. See, that's the thing
Oh.
sometimes you do. Is this the right one?
Yeah, this is example, but there's no example PDF here. So I would need a background PDF and a foreground PDF. And let's see. So let's open another example. Is there something in here?
Yep, there you go.
Okay. So we just copy. Let's copy one here and there, and maybe we drop the license one, which may be a text only. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So not sure if you can see that, but there are two PDFs layered on top of each other.
All right, so Labo, all of you sitting here watching this, right? Labo pulls a total question out of his. Not only does it do it, he shows you the sample file and it actually is working. Okay. If you're watching European football, that's where they go, goal. It's like, especially if you're in Central America or South America, right? Goal, right? Touchdown in American football.
Yeah. So we got two PDFs layered on top of each other. And that's a common thing for us because people like to customize the background PDF. So like the invoice example here, for example. So I can use the plugin to generate an invoice and it will write whatever invoice table you have on top of an existing PDF. So you can customize the background and the user can change the PDF.
On the Dynapdf thing. So if you don't license it, it still works, but it just puts the stuff all over the top of it. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can play with Dynapdf, make all this work. Is this a Dynapdf feature? These double layer thingy? Is that a Dynapdf thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll work. It'll put this big watermarky thingy on here.
Yeah.
That means you got to write a check, and then the watermark goes away. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So the plugin can be downloaded. We have a couple of free features like the syntax highlighting stuff.
Yep.
And also a lot of other things are now free. And then you can try the plugin, and if you write a little script and you see there's value in the plugin, you can buy a license. So I may remind people that we have variable autocompletion.
Yeah, this turned on the other day by accident, and I was like, holy, what's happening? And then I realized it was your plugin.
Yeah, you can turn it off if you don't like it, but
no,
usually...
I was pleasantly surprised.
We also have the auto completion for the function calls. So if you have a function, let's say you type something like Dynapdf, so the plugin will offer you all the Dynapdf functions you may want to use. Let's say I pick something like set font, and now the plugin puts you all the parameters there, so you can fill it. Like usually it's a variable name.
Yep.
Oops. So if you later come back and you want to know which parameters are there, you can just hover over the function name. And after it shows you a tooltip, so you know what parameters are there. And of course, you can click it to jump right into your the documentation page.
Cool.
And because people love this so much, we also did it for get functions. Hey, what's happening? Oh yeah, there we go. So you can click on the name of the get function and jump right into the documentation. Look what's the return value of it, and can be handy.
All right, so we're gonna have you come back. We need to pick another date and time. It's called Stump Christian. A little like if you go to Disneyland, you got Pirates of the Caribbean, right? And you got Jack Sparrow. It's all animatronic stuff, right? That would be really cool. And it's really your chance to find the answers to the obscure questions that are probably you're being asked by other people. Hey, Gerald, can you use FileMaker to communicate to Shopify or something, whatever, right? So yes.
So we have this check for variable names, which is very handy. So if you just type something here and test, and the plugin sees that test is not defined, it will put an error here.
I love. wait, has that been there? Has that been there?
That has been there for years.
Is it on automatically?
No, it's not on because it requires you to have a certain coding style. Like you have to actually declare variables, but it's here, check variable names.
That. Where? Check variable names.
Yeah.
I declare variables.
Okay. So if test is not declared with set variable because it's maybe set in a let statement in a custom function, you can tell the plugin that it's a variable defined somewhere and just put it in as a comment. This way the plugin can know about it. So we have add variable, add parameter, and add constant. And you can just define whatever, like say we have constant $$p somewhere. Also we have $, let's say user ID. And so you can tell the plugin about what variable names you have. And by default, the plugin scans 500 lines upwards to find the variable. So if you have a very long script, you may need to put in a comment in between so the plugin can find it. And the 500 lines limit was set to speed it up, because if we have a very long script with 2,000 lines or so, and we ask FileMaker for all the text of the different lines, it can get slow.
All right, well, we've got plenty here. This is a lot. So we're going to bring Christian back. We're going to have another episode of Stump Christian. Okay, and so everyone bring your hard questions. That'll be, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. We'll bring him back. We'll stump him. In the meantime, if you would like more information about the MonkeyBread plugin, if you could, you go to MonkeyBread plugin dot whatever
.com.
.com. Okay.
Yeah. .com and /FileMaker, and then you can learn about the plugin, which is now named MBS plugin, because we put the Claris FileMaker now next to it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We have an upcoming name change for the product.
Chris Schmidt, we're going to see you back in what, a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that?
Next week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Please, if you have upgraded to FileMaker 19.5, please also upgrade to a recent plugin version. Some older versions may work, but since I fixed a couple of things over the year, it would be good if you have version 12 at least.
All right, everyone, we'll catch you tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
We got Monday. We got Nick on Monday.
We got Nick on Monday. All right, sweetness. All right, everyone have a good day. We appreciate the hard work. Christian Schmidt, I want to say on behalf of the FileMaker community, we greatly appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.